G'day, I'm Terry Mills with Territory Alliance and with a mate of mine, Ken Parish, who used to be a member of the Territory Parliament. A lot of us have been thinking about truth-telling, and I'm wondering, Ken, if you've got any thoughts on the matter.
I've been thinking about truth in politics for a very long time now, intensively since 2017 when I ran a good governance summit under the auspices of Charles Darwin University. And especially over the last 12 months as things have gone from bad to worse. Looking at how we can improve government in the Territory, especially in the context of the previous Giles government, which was an exercise, as we all remember, in chaos and division and dubious competence, and now the Gunner government, which I hoped would be better, but is certainly no better and maybe even worse. That's not to say that they don't have some good ideas and some good people. And one of the problems I see, and always have seen, with Territory politics and politics in general, is that they all seem to have an irresistible temptation to run each other down, to call each other, crooks and liars and fools and so on, when mostly they're not, frankly. There are some good people and they have some good ideas. And one of the things that attracted me to Territory Alliance as an old Labor Party person who doesn't even recognise what the Labor Party has become today, is that Territory Alliance is about good governance. It does recognise that there are good ideas and good people in the other parties. It does want to work constructively and collaboratively with them to achieve the best government for the Territory. Now, the problem with that is that for whatever reason, Michael Gunner seems to have evolved into a political culture where he has an irresistible temptation to smear and character assassinate people that he sees as his potential rivals. Demonstrably, he did that with Ken Vowles, who he appears to have seen as a threat. He claimed that he sacked Ken Vowles from Cabinet because Ken Vowles publicly criticised the fact that Mr Gunner and his Treasurer admitted that the Territory was fast going bankrupt. We subsequently found out that in fact it was Mr Gunner's own office that leaked internal correspondence from Ken Vowles where he quite understandably expressed concern about the fact that the Territory was going bankrupt. Well, now it seems Mr Gunner sees Terry Mills as his big rival, not the CLP it seems. Terry Mills, so he's been busily character assassinating Terry Mills over the last couple of weeks. The main thing he did was to claim that Terry was responsible for selling all the government assets under the CLP government. Now, those of you who've been around for a while, cast your mind back. They sold the TIO, they leased the Darwin port for 99 years, and they sold the Darwin bus service. Now, it's a matter of public record that all of those things happened after Terry Mills was deposed as Chief Minister and after he left the Territory Parliament. So it's demonstrably true that what Michael Gunner is saying is, to be really blunt, an outright lie. And he knows it. But I guess he relies on the fact that most people don't know and don't care, and at least some people might take notice of what he's saying because they just assume everybody is liars and crooks because they're all telling each other all the time that everybody's liars and crooks. Well, I've aligned myself now after a long time of being a Labor person and an even longer time being completely unaligned. I've aligned myself with Territory Alliance because they have policies that I agree with. They have a democratic process for developing those policies by consulting the members. They have an emphasis on good governance, on checks and balances that will make sure we have good governance, that we address debt and deficit. I mean, my best attempt to understand why Michael Gunner is telling deliberate lies about Terry Mills is that it's an attempt to distract from the fact that indeed the Territory is in every practical sense in the midst of a very deep recession that they appear to have no plans to get out of. They announced the Langelant report a year or so ago, which Territory Alliance, I might say, embraces and endorses, but they've completely failed to implement it. So a year ago they confessed that the Territory was fast going bankrupt. Well, in the mid-year economic report by Mr Gunner's own Treasury just before Christmas, it was revealed that in 2022, 2 years' time, both the accumulated debt and the annual deficit will be worse now than they were then. So not only are they making no progress towards reducing debt and deficit in accordance with the Langelant report, we're still going backwards. So it's not surprising that Mr Gunner's keen to distract however he can. Well, as a long-time Territorian, I don't think he can get away with it, and I hope that you'll agree.